You're welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Joey Sparks. That's 2 E's, no Y. You heard me, 2 E's, no Y. And in this video, we are going to be reacting for the very first time to NF Hope. I love how real NF gets. Nathan be getting me in my feels more often than not. So if you're ready for me to react to NF Hope, then let me know. But first, you know I got to play my intro. Yep. Bang. Take that down. Put that up. Before we get started, do me a favor, please. Like and comment on all the content, preferably as soon as it comes out. Helps my videos go higher in the algorithm and stay there for longer. I'll appreciate you for it. Also, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm a music videographer by trade, so that's the POV I take into my reactions. I also do reviews, unboxings, and interviews, so please hit the subscribe button, join the community, make some friends in the comments, and without further ado, NF Hope.
Hope, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming. Don't lose faith in me.
Ooh.
I know you've been waiting. I know you've been praying for my soul. Oh, oh. 30 years you've been dragging your feet, telling me I'm the reason we're stagnant. 30 years you've been claiming you're honest and promising progress. Well, where is it at? I don't want you to feel like a failure. I know this hurts, but I gave you your chance to deliver. Now it's my turn. Don't get me wrong, nature had a great run, but it's time to give the people something different. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce my album.
No. We can't get any further until I discuss what I just seen. So if you don't like people who pause and talk, this ain't, scoot along. This ain't the one for you, Jay. Wow. Okay, let's just bring it back to how epic is this fly-in over to, once again, music videographer. So the videography really draws me into music videos. Okay, so like hitting with the drone shot, right? Camera seems to have dynamic range, so if I'm guessing, more than likely like an Aspire, something heavy enough to hold a cinema camera compared to a DSLR or a GoPro. I mean, you know what I mean? So flying in. Look at this. Oh, and then I wanted to talk about the sound design. You hear that little bit of it's almost like suspenseful. I don't know if it's like a string sample, but it just draws and makes this uneasy feeling until we start. And then when we get in here, bro, I don't know if this is shot on drone. This is crazy. Here's sometimes when I have a problem trying to shoot mouth performances with the drone, right? At least for me, my drone doesn't capture sound, right? I fly the Maverick Pro, so like it doesn't collect sound. And so you gotta figure out how to sync that up instead of just like guessing. For I personally like to sync music to music. in the editing process. And so to sync that up on camera, now I'm assuming there may be some sort of microphone here, but then again, where does he get the speaker so he stays on beat? Because anytime we're on this shot, he is really intimate with the camera. This is crazy, bro. And then when he stands up, I just couldn't believe it.
Me wrong. Nature had a great run, but it's time to
Like the rule of thirds, when you split a screen into 9 equal parts, usually you want what you want to look at on one of those lines, somewhere on one of those lines, and his face or this horizon just hovering around that spot right there the whole time.
give the people something different. So
And then
without further ado,
look at that. Where did he go to film this? This is beautiful. I'm going to get down in this description in just a minute.
like to introduce my album. Hope. What's my definition of success? Listening to what your heart says. Standing up for what you know is right while everybody else is. Tucking their toe between their legs. What's my definition of success? Creating something no one else can.
Ooh.
Being brave enough to dream big. Grinding when you're told to just quit. Giving more when you got nothing left. It's a person that'll take a chance on something they were told could never happen. It's a person that can see the bright side through the dark times when there ain't one.
That's beautiful. Cloning. Filming on one side, on the other, and this depth shot is where it's at. So not only do you have this wide shot of them both, which we all would assume, you know, something is cut compared to the other spot right here, right? Something like that. Camera on the tripod shows him here, shows him there. But to make it more sellable, you want to do this over the shoulder shot right here, right? So we don't see the face of this person, but we see Nate right here. And so like it just sells it better. Oh my God, it's so dope.
Someone who ain't never had nothing, ain't afraid to walk away from more perfect because they rather do something that they really love and take the pay cut. It's a person that would never waver or change who they are just to try and gain some credibility so they can feel accepted by a stranger. It's a person that can take the failures in their life and turn them into motivation. It's believing in yourself when no one else does. It's amazing what a little bit of faith can do. If you don't even believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? I done did things that I regret. I done said things I can't take back. Was a lost soul at a crossroad who had no hope, but I changed that. I spent years of my life holding on to things I never should have kept, full of hatred. Years of my life carrying a lot of baggage that I should have walked away from. Years of my life wishing I was someone different, looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in them. They get it.
Shout out to all y'all who waited 8 minutes and 40 seconds for me to get to this part. Y'all will be like, shut up and get to the part where he pushes them into the damn empty mansion room transition.
Someone different looking for some validation. Years of my life trying to fill a void, pretending I was in them. They get it. Necessary evil, difficult to go through, yes, but beneficial. Some would say having a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which on one hand I agree, but on the other hand it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See, if I'd have never hit rock bottom, would I be the person that I am today? I don't believe so. I'm a perfect example of what happens when you choose to not accept defeat and face your demons. Took me 30 years to realize that if you want to get the opportunity to be the greatest version of yourself, sometimes you gotta be someone you're not to hear the voice.
Yo, is that the actor who played his dad or played him as the dad in the one that made me cry? Anyways, is that the
Price of reason? Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did. I wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about. Don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running.
That's big of him to know, you know, the psychology of someone not thinking they're good enough at that at them impressionable ages.
30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never revolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking up. I'm taking up. The years of torment. 30 years of 30 years of bitter. 30 years of darkness. 30 years. They hear the voice of reason. Having kids will make you really take a step back and look in the mirror. At least for me, that's what it did.
It will. It will. It will make you go, who are you really now? Have a child. Most of my community is old enough that they either do or they don't. To this point, so there's quite a few out here who do. Talk about you just had like one idea who you were, and then you had some kids. It happens for everybody. He right.
Wake up every day and pick my son up, hold him in my arms and let him know he's loved. Standing by the window questioning if that is ever going to show up. Isn't something he's gonna have to worry about. Don't get it twisted, that was in a shot. Mama, I forgive you, I just don't want him to grow up thinking that he'll never be enough. 30 years of running, 30 years of searching, 30 years of hurting, 30 years of pain, 30 years of fearful, 30 years of anger, 30 years of empty, 30 years of shame, 30 years of broken, 30 years of anguish, 30 years of hopeless, 30 years of hate, 30 years of never, 30 years of maybe, 30 years of later, 30 years of fate, 30 years of hollow, 30 years of sorrow, 30 years of darkness, 30 years of hate, 30 years of baggage, 30 years of sadness, 30 years of stagnant, 30 years of change, 30 years of patience, 30 years of suffering, 30 years of torment, 30 years of 30 years of bitter, 30 years of lonely, 30 years of pushing everyone away. You'll never revolve. I know I can change. We are not enough. We are not the same. You don't have the heart. You don't have the strength. You don't have the will. You don't have the faith. You'll never be loved. You'll never be safe. Might as well give up. Not running away. You don't have the guts. You're the one afraid. I'm the one in charge. I'm taking up. I'm taking up. Reigns.
That was crazy. This is my first reaction today. That was just, to me, NF doesn't seem like normal MCs, even though he has like credibility to just do normal MC shit. Like he could just bar us if he wanted to. But there's this realness that he taps into when he was hitting him with the 30 years of all these emotions that he felt. Ooh, my heart goes out to him. Well, personally being able to navigate all that stuff and not fall off the deep end, and then see the differences he wants to make in his child's scenario. So this is only like this is like 10 months ago. and I'm assuming this was the lead off track for the album, because I see a lot of thumbnails where he's on this raft. Yeah. The aerial area I mean, like, literally we're finishing off on pause on this mountain area. Look at the waves and stuff. Like, anybody who films like myself to the smallest degree would love to shoot something this big, this. And then, yeah, that's what I was gonna say about NF. He he talks about real stuff, but then he also doesn't give you just regular, or at least for me, it doesn't seem like he just gives regular rap song structure, if that makes sense. That was almost was it like symphonic? Like, it felt like a symphony, man. That was. Shout out to you, Jason. Thank you for that recommendation, man. If you enjoyed this reaction, please hit the subscribe button. Music videographer by trade. So I really, really enjoy reacting to music videos. Tell me what music video I need to react to next from NF in the comments for me, and I'll catch you on the next reaction. Peace.